guys good?
Yeah.
I have the honor of, these ladies are amazing. I'm going to give you a quick bio, and then they're just going to go at it. Looks like Tiffany's going to ask the questions.
Planners and everything.
And you'll appreciate those who can't see, I had to make everything really big. Instead of trying to squint, I made them all really big. But we'll start with Tiffany Foreman. Tiffany started in 2000. You guys looking for my paper? Started in 2003, so she's been in it for 15 years. She is an advanced director. Big props for that. She has earned 10 vacations for her family all over the world. She always loves the last day event. She loves to go to the last day event all the time. Sometimes. She has earned Excellence Award 7 years. She's a lead grad this year. She has $700,000 in career sales. A big one is her team had 18 recruits last month, so that's very exciting.
That's exciting.
They live in Virginia Beach. We know that's having weather back and forth. 2 kids, 12 and 14. Her husband lives 1,000 miles away. And to know Tiffany is to know that she loves Star Wars and she loves pens.
Oh,
Friction. Everybody
Yeah,
got
she has 2
friction.
pens in her life. Yeah. So here's what I know. Here's what I also know very quickly about Tiffany. She's extremely organized and she's extremely thoughtful and she's extremely giving. She definitely puts it all out there and I could say that of all of these ladies because they're going to offer a lot of information because we're going to talk about how to get your new consultant off to an awesome start. Then there's April. April hosted Pampered Chef parties for 12 years before she called her consultant and decided to join in the Pampered Chef. She joined in February of 2017 and did fast track to director in 2.5 months. Are you kidding me? 2.5 months? That's fantastic. She is a mother of 4 young kids and lots of chickens. And the balance of home and work isn't always easy, and it's true. But April strives to work her business consistently, and that's the key. In her first year of Pampered Chef, she earned a level 2 trip to Coronado Island in San Diego and excellence for personal sales. She's focusing on growing her team. She's excited about the future with the Pampered Chef and the goals, and has a goal of earning excellence in 2 categories and becoming an advanced director by next conference.
Nice.
She just earned Hawaii.
Week and a half after conference.
Week and a half after conference. How many did you recruit last month in your team? Do you know?
Oh, last month our team was 6. We did 6.
Very good. That's awesome. And last but not least, my dear. So I gotta tell you a story. I said, hey, can you guys give me a quick bio? I gotta say.
Go ahead.
So I got like this page, and then I got this page, and then Tiffany's was like 8 pages. I don't know, it's like Evernote.
It wasn't an Evernote, Mike. Here, take what you want.
Here's me.
Yeah.
And mine I sent her last night.
Gretchen Thompson has been a consultant for 12 years. She's from Delaware. She's married to the love of her life, John, and has a blended family of 7 kids. The 3 are released into the wild, and 2 with special needs. She does half cooking, half virtual shows, and loves earning trips every year. So she and her husband can get away from her kids.
Yeah.
She is an elite seller and has earned excellence in 2 categories for the last 2 years. Her proudest moment so far was earning Founders Award, which is huge. Founders Award for recruiting last year with 22 qualified recruits. Other than PC, Gretchen enjoys leading worship with her church praise team, wine, board games, and kitties.
Said her last night.
Exactly. So, and was it 20? You said 20 so far.
20 so far. Our
20
team
so
had 16 in September.
Okay. So we are going to talk about, let me look over your shoulder.
Oh, it says, what training schedule? Okay, that one.
I'm so mad because I printed everything out really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was what training schedule do you have for new consultants? Right here, what training schedule?
Oh, okay. So my question is, if you guys don't know, Gretchen, when you sign a new consultant, what is your training schedule? Like, what do you put into play? Is this thing on?
There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, quite honestly, I'm not a schedule person. So when she gave me this question, I was like, I don't know if I should be on this panel. honestly, my biggest concern with new consultants is just getting them connected, getting them, in our group, connected with me, communicating with me, making them feel like they're part of our team and that I care about them and that I'm here to support them. That's my biggest thing. Now, I do reach out to them with a Facebook message, a phone call, an email. I add them to the team group. I send them a postcard. I do have this cute little, what's it called? Excel spreadsheet, because Tiffany and I have that in common. I know, and we didn't share, but we both are, recovering accountants. So yeah, and this was a brand new one that I just printed off, but I just have like certain tasks that I am supposed to be doing for each of my new consultants. Do I get them done for each new consultant? No. But that's kind of my goal. And then I just work through what home office gave us as far as the new consultant experience, because is this what you printed?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about this beforehand, but and that's what I have too. Yeah, so we just kind of worked through what home office gave us, and these are great. So, I kind of feel like home office has all the training in place already. What I need to be there for is to support them and encourage them.
I do a kind of similar approach. I have a standard email that I send everybody, and it says, can we talk for 10 minutes in the next 24 hours? And I go over just a 10-minute phone call with them, kind of going over some basics, like you said, like I'm going to add you to our team page, blah, 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 blah. And then I set up a 1-hour segment with them later. And I follow Stacy Itzel's training that was a couple years ago that then the Strong Start that rolled into this new consultant experience. And so I do have an Evernote that I have for each person, and then that way when I'm talking to them I can type the notes of what they say. And we start off with, my favorite acronym is FOOD, and that stands for family, occupation, outside interest, and dreams. And then I let them spew on me, so that helps me not spew all over them, because we do that. But I also do send a postcard, a welcome postcard. I will pass this around, and they get a little key to their business. Here, take that. And you can get those on Amazon. I'll share the link. But if they don't physically attend our team meeting, I do mail them, but we make a big deal about presenting that to them when they get there. And so I do also have a spreadsheet, because we added 24 people in September, and we added 6 in August. 18 and whatever it was. It was like a lot of people, and I didn't know how I was going to track all these people. So I use Sign Up Genius and create the spots that fit into our family life, like Pam says, my husband lives 1,000 miles away. So I'm mostly just a taxi cab driver and a nag to my children. So I try to book my calls between 9 and 1 or 2 so that I can take a nap. And then I do #second shift, which means, you got to switch gears, and you got to get into the mom mode, and we got to do practice and all that. So then I try not to be on the phone when I'm in the car with my children, but while they're on a ball field, I don't mind sitting in the car while they're at practice. I don't need to watch practice. And even if we have a game, but they have an hour warm up beforehand, I will schedule an hour phone call in that period of time. So what I have found is and I encourage my team to take a lunch break, like brown bag it that day, and let's talk during your lunch break. If you can't, talk first thing in the morning, or if I have West Coast people, can you call me at noon on my time, which is 9 o'clock on your time. But Sign Up Genius has been pretty helpful scheduling that. But they're all random. It's not like this every week is the same. So it just kind of depends on what the week's like.
It's free.
Sign Up Genius is free. And then it has a link, like you can put in the time slots, and then it has a link, and I just put the link on our team page. So if they haven't already picked one, I will say, you need to pick one. Or can you talk, I look at the slots and say, we're gonna do it on this day at this time, are you available?
It's really easy. And you don't need to be on Facebook.
They don't need to be on Facebook.
Yeah, they don't
They
need to be
just
on
need to
Facebook.
be able to have access to the internet for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have a specific schedule. I do follow the home office, new consultant guide on when to contact everybody, and yeah. And so I do set up a phone call usually within the 24 hours. Sometimes we get people that say, yeah, and they sign up for it, and then sometimes you get people 2 weeks later and they're like, okay, I'm ready to start, that's their pace, it's their business. I don't try to be a nag. I end up just saying like, listen, you're an adult. You're responsible for yourself. I'm going to support you as much as I can, but you have to, you have to meet me too. Because I'm busy also, but so I do schedule a phone call right away, at least a day or two after they join, and then we do touch base again within another like 3 to 4 days or so to go over. I go over things online. I make sure that they get their paperwork done for their direct deposit and their order payment account. I show them where all the host and guest and new consultant information is on Consultant's Corner. Once they have, and I do even give them the words on messaging, because when I first started, I had a boatload of parties like right from the get-go, which is why I was able to like do Fast Track right off the bat, because I literally had in my first couple of months, I had like, I don't know, my first month I think I had like, 14 or something, like not cooking, just cooking, but I had virtuals. I didn't know how to do them. That was fun. But I had all these friends and family that were so excited to help me out. So I was like taking them up on it. And just off the bat, like I literally just was like gonna have my Pampered Chef party anyways. So, and I know a friend that had just joined a few months before. She told me all this stuff that she got. So I was like, wait, I've been missing the boat on that for like 12 years. Let me like see what that's all about. So I called my consultant and recruited myself. Like, I talked to her the year before when I had my party, and then I just called her. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for my party, and I'm gonna join your team. And she just about fell over, pretty much, right? She was like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, so I filled myself up like craziness. But so I give them those words of like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like literally, like they don't have to think about it. They copy what I said and throw it into messages and throw it into text to like everybody and anybody they know. I'm so excited about becoming a Pampered Chef consultant. I would love for you to be able to help me start my new business and get you some really great products free and discounted. Would you help support me in having a fun party or doing a virtual with me? And I tell them off the bat what to expect. You're gonna get people that are gonna be like, yay, that's so fun, I'm so excited for you, absolutely. And then you're gonna have people that are like, no, not interested, but like good luck, and that's fine. And I tell them like that's okay. And then you're gonna have people that ignore you, and I tell them like they will not respond, even though they're friends and family. Some people will not, because they don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to say no and hurt your feelings, but that's okay. Like I just like want them to know it's not you, it's them, and it's okay. Like that's So I don't want them to be like hurt from that. And then we do touch base. I do go over everything, like once they get their first information for their first whatever kind of party, then we do go over how to put it in online. So I don't leave it up to them to figure all that out, because I feel like even though I had a lot of product knowledge off the bat, like not a lot, like not everything, but a lot, like I didn't know the first thing about Consultant's Corner. I didn't know the first thing about how to do a party. Like I was freaking out for my first party. So I think about that for someone else that's new, and I want to give them as much as I can, because I feel like they deserve it. Like they're trusting me to help them and support them, and I have a duty to do the best I can with that. So.
You want me to ask the next question?
I have it. Well, I printed it, and I printed it big, but it's not where it's supposed to be. So I guess my next question is, because we're going to keep this real basic, because sometimes I think, and you're going to hear the questions that we put together are pretty basic, but you know what? Sometimes we reinvent the wheel and we get it all clogged up because we're trying to do so much. So if you could only talk to your consultant, give her 3 tips of advice for her first 30 days, what would be your 3 tips? You could only say 3 things to her.
So, book 4 to 6 parties in your first week, and I do set up and run their virtual parties for them if they want me to. Attend a team meeting, and take the party experience training. I tell them to stay away from PC University, honestly. But
I say complete your 1 hour and 10 minute, or your 10 minute, then your 1 hour training with me, so that we can go through a recipe for my success. And that I tell them to make sure they have that. Come with me to a live show or attend the next team meeting, whichever comes first. And cannonball into it. I won't let you drown. So I'm not Carla on that aspect.
She said
Cannonball into it. I won't let you drown.
Go all in, all I do the same. I just say, about booking like at least 4 to 6 parties. I automatically set them off right from the get-go with like, let's schedule your virtual party like now, like for like starting in 2 days, or if we've already scheduled their launch party, which was supposed to be like their party, and then they decide to join my team, and we turn it into the launch party, then I'll be like, okay, we have your party scheduled for like next week. Let's get a friend set up with like a virtual within the next couple of days or whatever, or a family member or whatever it is, so that they can reach their first 1250 first. Because I try to get them excited about that. Like I know everybody has different opinions on, getting people qualified, but I want them to qualify, not for my benefits, although that's not too bad either, I don't mind that part, but like I do want them to qualify because I want them to get a taste right off the bat on the success. I want them to taste it, I want them to be excited about it, I want them to want more, because I'm a carrot grabber. Like I love the carrots, so for me, not everybody's gonna be like that, but a lot of people will. They'll be like, I get what? And I get this and I get this. So I want them to taste it right off the bat as soon as they can and then want more. So I try to schedule them like really early on to get stuff started. Oh, and I offer to do their virtual party for them. So I always do their first virtual for them. And I'll do their first cooking party with them if they're local. I know some people say, different things, like come watch me, and I offer that too, but if I'm local, like, I don't know, I do, I'll give the time. That's just me.
Let's go to Tiffany for that. So, how often, I hear you're saying this, but how often do you talk to your consultants?
So when I send the email to them, the welcome email, it has a link to a video that I copied from Stacey Itzel, almost word for word. And it talks about how the business is like an airplane and how you have to kind of like gain momentum. And then in the first phone call with them, I tell them that I'm gonna match their efforts with my time. So like if they call me and say, how do I enter a show? I use this as an example. It's like sometimes the company has already done the work for me and I will refer you back to Consultants Corner. Other time that does require like a phone call or a text with me. But I also offer every Monday night is Happy Half Hour, and we go on our Zoom channel, call number, whatever, and anybody can come to it. I tell them to bring the questions. It's kind of like coffee talk, but on a Monday night. So I tell them we have Happy Half Hour on Monday night, we'll go over some stuff, and you have coffee talk on Saturday. So there's something twice a week that you can get your hands on training-wise that I don't always have to do. And so that's why I send them to Polito's, coffee talk over there. But, or like, the one that was started over there. But, talking to them sometimes is not, that 1 hour, I really emphasize that 1 hour training. But other than that, it's just a lot of like, they have a question, I answer, I have a question, I answer. And I tell them, hey, look, I'm busy too, being a mom and running my own business. So there may be a time where I don't get back to you immediately. Don't feel like you have to PM me, text me, email me, and send a smoke signal. I will get to you when I can. Same like with you. Like I'm not gonna stalk you over and over again. But also use our team page because they will answer you. Thank you, Becky Dowd. Becky's a hospitality consultant on our team, and between Becky and Casey, who's a director on my team, I'm like, if you can't find me, one of them will answer it. So you can, they will, you don't have, I am not your only resource. But in respect to that, I also say don't get sucked into all the groups out there that are like filing cabinets. I love my brownie pan, I love my rock crock, virtual party. It's like it has 20,000 consultants in there and stuff just gets buried. So I also have a Strong Start group that is a very static group that I have borrowed a lot of pictures from Becky Walfinger about how-tos, like all those FAQs, where are my commissionable sales? How do I do direct deposit? Yes, there are step-by-steps on the checklist that we give them, but I'm a visual person and I like pictures. So I have those things in pictures in this group, and I don't post new stuff in there unless technology changes. So like the pictures, some of the pictures in there are 2 years old, but they still apply today. So I'm not answering the same question. And then that also prevents me from telling one person one thing and then forgetting to tell the other person the same thing. So the answers are the same.
Do you have that in an Evernote that you can share?
I don't have it in an Evernote, but somebody recently asked me if I had it like in ScentShare, so I could copy and paste it.
Or
Yeah.
just run your ScentShare into the.
Yeah, I could put it in the group and then run it in there so you guys could have it all.
Hey Tiffany, you said something about matching your efforts. What were your words?
I match my time with your efforts. So, and there will be times that I will send you back to Consultants Corner because they've already made a video and they will cover it better than I do. Now that we have, like I used to hold my phone over the camera, like a camera, and record a video and all those how-tos. Paper Chef has done it. Why do I need to redo it?
Yeah, I send them the link I'll like
Yeah,
go
say
to
it's on
Pampered
this
Chef and I'll
page.
grab the link and I'll go watch this, and if you have questions,
But
get
if
back
they
to me.
say, "Oh, I don't have time to watch that video," well, then you don't have time to talk to me either. So, I mean, that's kind of like my sassy response back to them. But like, I don't say that. I just say, "Okay, well, when you have time, this is where the answer is."
Yeah.
Okay, what was the question again?
How often do you contact new
How often do you
Oh,
contact?
okay. So it really depends on the person. It varies a lot because there's people from all walks of life, and they may or may not respond to me. I messaged a new consultant the other day. She wasn't my personal recruit, but somebody on my team, and I said, "Hey, do you have time for a quick 10-minute phone call tomorrow?" She said, maybe. She said, "I work nights. Can I ask what it's about?" And I was like, okay, well, I'm like, I just want to introduce myself. And she never responded. So I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, she ordered the $29 kit, so she's not a kidnapper. She only got catalogs. So, yeah, so it really varies. So it's a lot like what you said, Tiffany. Them asking me questions, me scheduling their first phone call, of course. I do have an Evernote email that I send out that has like 5 quick steps to get you off to a good start. And I do also, on my team page, in the announcements, I have 2 videos that I personally recorded. That is my welcome video, but in my welcome video, I actually walk them through how to sign themselves onto Consultants Corner, because I feel like that's a little confusing sometimes when people go to pamperedchef.com and they're like trying to sign in with their email and they don't know what Consultants Corner is, and I kind of walk them through. It's like an 8-minute video that just explains how to do that, how to set up their shows, how to create the link, and I say create your own show and then send me the link, and then we're gonna get your virtual party kicked off. And then the second video that I have is just how to sign up for direct deposit. So that's a quick, like, 3-minute of me recording myself on Zoom, and then I do the Monday night thing too. Monday night, every Monday, we're meeting as a team, just talking over stuff and bringing your questions. And I really encourage my new consultants to do that too. So.
All right, so we're gonna go to April, and tell me, I'm skipping, you ready? Tell me what your favorite training is. I skipped Gretchen on this one specifically. On PC University. What is your favorite training?
I think that mine is more on host coaching because I pride myself in not just my business, but just in life on developing relationships with people. I'm like me right off the bat with people. Obviously I don't tone it down, but that's how I am at my parties, that's how I am at my virtuals. And I'm always kind of like either like me or don't, and I mean that's okay. I don't expect to be best friends with everybody, but like I'm like that right off the bat. But I do make really great connections with my hosts. They refer me. I mean, they're excited when I go meet them. If I've never met them before, if I met them on a virtual, but like I get there, we know each other. We're like, and I'm not saying we're best friends, but like they hug me, they're comfortable, they know what's going on in my life. I know what's going on in theirs. I took the last year when I first joined the whole friend people on Facebook, have them friend you, comment, I invite them in my life and I want to be in theirs because they're like my family, so I develop a relationship with them, and I think that's for me, I try to help my consultants know that you need to host coach, you need to know what they want in their life, what's going to work for them. If you're a young busy mom, then you don't have an interest in having to worry about downsizing and having to they're looking to try to just get fed, get people fed. They just want to get meals on the table. So you need to know them, and they need to know you, but you also don't want anybody to feel like you're just the Pampered Chef lady that wants their money. And I don't think anybody's ever said that about me or thinks that way. When I want to get as many people as I can to people's parties, my host party, I always tell them that's one of my goals. But when they're like, oh, I only have 5 to 6 people, I'm like, that's exciting. I'm excited. Let's do it. We're gonna have fun. Don't worry about whatever it is. I mean, I've had even just in the last couple weeks a couple parties that were 5 to 6 coming or whatever, and that was about who was there, and they were both. Just so happened that they were both really good parties. One was over 700 and one was 1,300, 1,200, something like that. Because I kept that connection of making sure you're getting outside orders and making sure. So, but they trust me in that, And then they'll text me oh, do you have a recipe for this, or my friend needs this, or whatever. So it's I think the comfort of that. So I want people to know off the bat. You don't want them to just think of you as the money lady that wants my
ATM
money.
Sue. We want to be her friend.
Right.
Sue. Her name was Sue, right?
Yep.
ATM Sue.
ATM
Yeah,
Sue.
Sue, yeah, we're friends.
because like everybody says, that's where you're working for your paycheck, your host coaching. So if you don't do your host coaching and you sign a party and it, like, you know, you get everybody signed up for a party and then like you see them a month later and nothing happens between, I mean, there's not gonna be a party.
I opted not to answer this question,
Okay.
but I have come up with an answer since then.
Okay.
Okay, so in my 1 hour phone call with them, I talk about bookings, and so that's why I'm gonna say bookings is my best training to watch on PCU, because I tell them a booking is not a booking until you have a date. And before that, it's a lead. And even with virtual parties, like I do all my virtual parties starting on Saturday, run them to Friday. And so I say, you know, even with virtuals, I say, do you want October 6th or do you want October 13th? Same with cooking. Do you want Saturday at 10 or do you want Saturday at 6? So I tell them that, you know, you've got to have a booking, you've got to have the bookings, you've got to expect the no's and reward yourself for every 10 no's you get. So the whole go for no training that we've done. And this is like an airplane ride. You've got to put energy into it to get off the ground.
Okay, so I'm throwing one in there real quick because we're running out of time. But what I wanted to ask, it's 30 days in, ladies. This is not on your paper. It's 30 days in. They haven't done anything. What's your step? What do you do? Like, this isn't, it's not a consultant who's been in and they're wafting in and out. Like, they submit, they don't submit, they submit, they don't submit. 30 days and nothing. What
So
do you do?
I
Phone call.
do contact them usually about a week before their 30-day end date. And, you know, usually at that point, I kind of know what's going on. I know that, you know, this girl signed up, and then a week later, her daughter was in the hospital, and she had a trip to California, and this is one of my consultants. I had a trip to California, and then, you know, her 30-day end date was October 8th. So I contacted her. She hadn't submitted anything yet, and I said, you know, I contacted her on, you know, like the 2nd or 3rd. I'm like, hey, you know, your 30-day end date is next week. I know you've had a kind of tough 30 days. I said, do you want to, you know, try to go for it and see if you can get that free quick cooker? And she said, yeah, but she didn't really, because she didn't really communicate with me. So, I mean, you can only do so much, and I offered, you know, some ideas for her. I offered, you know, how about if we, you know, have a phone call? And so that's pretty much what I do with everybody. You know, I'll reach out to them. I'll tell them, you know, I'm here for you. Would you like some ideas to maybe help you get there? Would you like to do a phone call together that we can come up with something? But you know, in the end, I mean, if they're not, you know, willing to work with me, there's not much I can do about that. So.
Tiffany, anything different or?
I mean, kind of the same. I'll try to like reach out to them and kind of use that, oh, I understand. Where I'm kind of, in the part of me, I was like, oh yeah, everybody's busy. And I like to say, introduce me to somebody who's not. You know, that's kind of, I say, yeah, everybody's busy, I know. And so we have a lot of military in our area. Oh, my husband's deployed. Yeah, mine lives 1,000 miles away. So I totally understand what it's like to have that person there to help you get started. But why does that prevent you from doing a virtual party? You know, I see you on Facebook anyway. So, you know, and so I will stalk them on Facebook to see what's going on. And then, like, you know, if they haven't posted in a while, then I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, you know, trying to figure that out. But I think just trying to be genuine and find out what's going on with them, why they haven't submitted the show. Maybe they have a show and it just hasn't been submitted yet, and they don't know what to do with it. So just kind of finding out where they are.
I mean, I've had a couple, you know, people like that. I even had someone that joined last month. I still don't even know who this woman is. Like, I've contacted her. And she got the starter, like the quick start. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know who she is. I emailed her a bunch of times. I called her. I mean, like, it is. I mean, I don't know, maybe something came up in her life, but I've also had people that I knew something came up, and then I've had people where I do contact them and, you know, just checking in, see if there's anything you needed, if something came, and then I found out after that something happened. So I give them the, like, benefit of the doubt, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, they're in until at least the 6 months that they're dropped. If they're on my roster, then they're on my team, and I count them as part of my team, and so I'll still, like, reach out. And I do reach out to all my team members, even if I have not seen them or heard them or they haven't, like, entered anything in. I'll reach out, like, every, like, 2 to 3 weeks or so, just with, like, a quick, like, personal text or message and say, you know, how are you? How's everything? You know, how's your family going? You know, didn't know if maybe you had any questions for me or anything that I can support, you know, you in. And if you would like to set up a personal call, would love to do that. I don't know, I just.
Well,
I do.
do
Do you guys know that on Consultants Connection, there on the overview screen, it will show you your inactive consultants? So when that updates around like the 10th is kind of like my day, I go in there and see who's in the 2, 4, and 6. And I have a standard email that I send to them. I personalize it, but then the meat, I try to use the sandwich method, something nice, the meat, and then close with something nice, or whatever, personal. And I think I got them from Marna or someone like a million years ago. And so I just send that, and if they don't see it, if they don't reply via email, I'll put it in Messenger because then I can see that they have seen it. So some people don't even know that, like, oh, I was supposed to submit this month. Oh, okay, I'll get on that. So
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I got, I don't know if you guys know this, but when a consultant rolls off after their 6 months of being inactive, Pampered Chef will send them an email that says, hey, you can rejoin for $35, which is like the worst deal in the world.
Yeah.
So I got Tiffany's We're Not Divorced email a couple of years ago, and I do send that out faithfully to everybody who drops off, and I'll say, especially in September, I was like, you don't want to do the $35 deal because, you can get for $29, you're going to get your free website, you're going to get new consultant rewards, and you're going to earn a free quick cooker. And so, I was kicking myself last month because one of my past directors who has not talked to me in 6 months, I didn't send it to her, and wouldn't you know, she did the $35 rejoin thing. I was like, oh, I can't believe that. So, I think but I think, overall, the company average, I think, is like, I don't know, 2/3 of people qualify, So don't sweat the ones who just don't, just don't pull your hair out. But,
There are kidnappers out there.
yeah, and just be there to support them, encourage them. I think that's the biggest thing they need from us, is just the encouragement and the support, and know that, I'm here for you.
Or life changes and it's about timing too. Like sometimes it's not, like I had a girl that joined our team in June that all I did was call her to see like how her order was from a party that she had ordered offline. She ordered some rubs. It was like a $20-something order. And she's like, oh, anytime anybody has a party, I always try to support them. I used to be a consultant in like early 2000, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Why did, if you don't mind me asking why did you stop? And she explained, and she said it wasn't good timing. She joined, it didn't work out. Then she joined again like after a couple years, and then her dad got really sick, and she couldn't do the like back and forth and the whatever. And I said, well, if you ever, decide to, think about it again, let me know. She was not in touch with her consultant. She had no interest in, she didn't even know who where the person is or anything. Like there's no connection anymore. And I said, well, it's changed a lot since then. Now we have virtual because she's a full-time teacher. I said, now we have virtual. It's a really great option for, if you're busy and whatever. And she's like, oh, tell me more. And I told her more. And I said, listen, I'll send you the link. I'll text it to you. Look around, look at the questions, see if there's anything that you want to talk about. Would love to have you join my team. And she ended up doing it and joined my team. And then right after she qualified, she texted me and said, I just want to thank you because that's the farthest I've ever gone. Like I've never even qualified before. So like her timing twice was not good for her.
Third time.
And the third time it was. She's not really doing much of anything right now, but she's in the middle of moving. So like sometimes it's just
Life
life.
does have life. Yeah.
So I think something someone said a million years ago is when you call that person up, that person that's on their way out or they're not submitting, it's hey, I just wanted to check to see if you're happy about the way your Pampered Chef business is going. Do you want more? We don't have to overthink it. We're going to finish up with one last question, actually. It's not a question. Give us a word of wisdom. What is your words of wisdom for people who are coaching out there and people who want to get their consultants off to a good start?
just keep doing it. Even if the person doesn't receive the training and accept the training, just move on. Like Laura was saying about Out and About, just move on to the next one. That's why I have that, y'all are looking at that spreadsheet that's going around that you can see where some of my check marks just stopped. So, yeah, so it just keep going, and it'll, like you said, the spaghetti will eventually stick and be thrown up at the wall.
Mine would probably be not to take things personally, because honestly, like, everybody needs different things for their business. You know, like, some people are self-starters. Like, I like to think of myself as a self-starter. Like, When I do something, I'm in 100%. That's just how I've always been. Join PTO, might as well be president, might as well do this, might as well do that. Like, that's me, you know? But some people aren't gonna do that. They're slow to start, or they have to like get their feet wet, or they're not sure, or they have to build up their confidence, or whatever that is. But like, you have to understand that like what works for you may not work for them. And you know, if they're reaching out to you and asking for the support, you're gonna need to tailor that a little bit more to like what works for them. So.
I also tell them if I haven't heard from you, then I kind of wonder what's going on. But if you're asking questions, then I know you're thinking and you're working.
Yeah, I tell them that too. I think the biggest thing, I mean, I would tell anyone who's trying to build their team is just, have a big ask, have a big, you got to start with your own bookings. You have to have you have to have a solid show schedule. You can't recruit from no parties. So you got to work on your own business first. Have your shows on your calendar, and then start asking everybody. I mean, whether you're doing cooking shows or virtual shows, there's, like they say, there's a recruit at every show. Is there a recruiter? But there might be more than one recruit at a show. I mean, how many times have you been to a show and you see that one person, you're like, oh man, I would love to have her on my team. She's so awesome. She's so exciting and like full of energy, and I just know she'd be a great consultant. And she signs up and she goes nowhere. And yet, there's like that one person who's in the back corner who said nothing. And do you guys know who Susan Hammer is? Anybody? She's like the quietest person on the planet. She promoted 6 directors last year. She's Founders Award, top 5. Like, she's so quiet and sweet. And I just picture her like sitting in a show. She was probably one of those people who was like in the back corner and probably didn't even say anything. And, was she recruited? I don't know. I don't know her story. I mean, I friended her, I talked to her a little bit, but anyway, so, realize that there's more than one recruit at every show, and try to have a big, I cringe when somebody on my team says to me, oh, I don't have any recruit leads, or, oh, I only have one. I'm like, do you have no friends? Like, who are your friends? So, yeah, just realize that, it's not for everybody, but it is something that can work for anybody, so.
I just want to make a note that technology has changed, and I'm just going to say that people are not receiving our messages if our contact information is not part of their contact information. So the email and text that you're sending out that you think people are hearing from you, they may not be. So I'm just trying to decide, especially with indirect recruits, about actually sending a note out, welcome to our team, add me to your contacts, so that they actually receive the email and the messages from us.
Yeah, that's a
Because they
good
may
point.
not be getting it at all.
Yeah, I do send something in the mail, and I know you do too, and I don't know if you do
And
April,
some
but
consultants, I know they create a new email address, and because they want all the paper stuff to go on with this, well, they have to check it. That's why I did have one person say one time, well, I don't check that email address. Then why did you put it in your profile? And I don't email a lot at all, but mostly it's on Facebook. I have one consultant on my team who's not on Facebook, but you would hope that they would eventually see it somewhere.
So I think what I heard as far as words of wisdom were, don't give up, don't take it personal, and have a big ask. But I think these ladies are fantastic. They have so much wisdom between them, amongst them, I guess. But I wanted to thank you ladies for sharing. If you have any questions, grab them later, because we